All right, everyone, welcome to our market update. I'm just going to get the ticker going because people want to
Oh
see
man, I
what's
love the
going
ticker.
on with the market right there. Positive is inventory has trickled up a tad bit, and pending
How
properties
how
have gone
how
down a
much,
tad bit.
Vinny?
So that's
How much?
positive.
How much?
Oh, just a tad bit. We're talking about like 100. I mean, from where we were end of December to now, we've gone up about a couple hundred. I think like 300 properties. So nothing drastic, but it is kind of nice that it's gone up a little bit. And rates, though, talking about going up, it sounds like rates have trickled up also a little bit. So
Tell me about that, Vinny. Tell me what you're hearing the blood on the street is, because sometimes Santa brings good things for the new year, and other times Santa delivers coal.
yeah, good things and bad things. I mean, the only good things that we can really offer. I mean, inventory has gone up, rates have gone up, so maybe there's a little bit of a slowdown to the market. One thing that I thought was pretty interesting, and we're going to get to basically where the raffle numbers and everything like that sit, is boom, it knocks us out of the way. That's probably the best thing you guys like. Median sales price did go down a little bit, but something interesting. So list to sold, right, is about that 101, right? Yet, if you look at downtown, we've been talking about it, how the downtown market has been a little better of a buy compared to the rest of the market. Yet it's kind of balancing out for each other. The market's kind of coming together, and then so we're with the downtown market right there. To answer your question, I mean, it's something that we talked about probably a couple months back, where people are more focused on the price point than I think they're focused on the location, because we had such low inventory for a long period of time. So yeah, what do you think about that? How are you feeling on a daily basis?
What I was gonna say, Vinny, is I thought this would be a good time to kind of look at things and go, because here's what I've been seeing a lot of different people call and ask, and then you'll probably be more experienced with this than I am. Is you have different people who are talking to you and they're going, "Hey, I want to pay this amount of money over list price," or "I want to pay this amount over list price," or "What do you think this is?" and "What do you think that is?" And I had a friend of mine today who is working, full disclosure, working with an agent that I don't work with, I don't do business with, and they were bidding on a property that was listed at $1,250,000, and they put their bid in at $1,337,500. So a little bit higher. So I thought this would be a good time for you to kind of share your knowledge about using best practices when making offers and how to really dive deep into
Communication
if
is
you're
key.
gonna pay over list price, what are you gonna do? Like, how do you look at the data? How do you stand out amongst a crowd of people trying to buy limited inventory without being the person that pays the highest amount of money? Because correct me if I'm wrong, that's not what always wins, is who pays the highest. Is that not correct?
Oh man, well, you're really throwing these softballs, really trying to get me to hit out of the park. And mind you,
Well, I mean, I was hoping you could do that, because then maybe some people are watching on the Padres that could help them hit grand slams that will help next season.
well, that's if the CBA gets resolved. But anyways, on a side
I
note,
know that
so
was kind of rough.
the price is not always a factor, right? I mean, why do you think cash offers can win out sometimes, right? Yes, I mean it's this idea of cash, basically no repairs or anything like that. And mostly it's time frame. I mean, people want their money quick. I mean, a loan is technically cash once everything's said and done, right? So you want to look at turnaround times, contingencies. You want to look at basically rent back. Any of those kind of terms can really play a factor into it. I mean, there is a difference between a 17-day escrow to a 3-day escrow. I mean, if people want their money, man, they might take, 15% less than the other ones. I mean, in this market, that's probably not going to be the case. Nothing drastic like that. It might be, 5,000, 10,000 difference, but you have to be aware of what your lender can do and what options are available. So I want to get into last week because if you're watching us, you're probably thinking, I want to win some $50. $50. Well, here was last week's question. How much did the most expensive attached property sell in San Diego so far this year? So most expensive attached property.
Ooh.
A little over 2.3. All right.
Wow.
So the question for this week, all right, how much did the most expensive detached property sell in Carlsbad so far this year?
All right, was that the answer?
Oh, I'm not gonna give you the answer. You have a chance to win. We got our guy Manuel jumping in here. What?
Carlsbad is one heck of a nice place, and it has a smaller. So this is something that I think people will find interesting because there's also people I talk to that go, hey, I can buy houses in Texas and I can buy houses in Florida and all these open land spaces. Well, to make sense why I'm talking about this was Carlsbad is Carlsbad's right on the coast. Carlsbad's a small niche market. Carlsbad has a natural land barrier around it. You can't compare the price of that property to properties that are in like Austin, Texas, Houston, Texas, or Orlando, Florida, because they can continually keep building outwards. There's no natural landmass to protect it. And so Carlsbad's highly desirable because of where it's located, and there's limited amount of houses in that small zip code with good school districts. So, man, I think that's going to be an expensive house there, my friend.
Well, I mean, man, David really is getting a lot of phone calls. He's getting blown up, man. People are probably like,
you know, it always happens when I'm on the phone, and I also served a tenant of mine an eviction notice, and now all of a sudden they want to pay for some reason. And I'm like, you haven't paid for 6 months. And now that you're getting evicted by the sheriff's going to show up, you want to pay? Wow. Shocking.
Sometimes tough love is what plays out. But yeah, we got Emmanuel over here. I think he was chiming in our last one. Short escrows, HOA dock times, termiting. Yeah, that's the funny thing about termites.
Termiting? I went out on Halloween termiting. I'm just kidding. I went trick-or-treating, not termiting, Emmanuel.
Well, his jokes are hilarious. Anyways, it's the termites. I mean, most properties have termites, so something to really think about. One interesting fact right now, I was looking to see default properties. You want to guess how many default properties in San Diego County right now?
Maybe a half of 1%. So 0.5%.
Now, how many? Just say a number in San Diego County.
300 in the whole county. No. 230.
1,000.
1,000? Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, so what's San Diego populace is 3.6 million around? Is around 3.6 million?
Yeah, but the thing is it's not say there's 1,000 in quote unquote foreclosure. Yeah, what happens if you're not familiar with foreclosures? Sometimes they'll sit as foreclosures, even though they were already resolved. And so they kind of slowly fade away over time. So that number can get really skewed. But you always got to be aware, if you're listening right now, numbers can get skewed a lot. And we're in that time of year where people are going to skew their numbers very drastically. So make sure you read the fine print and everything you're looking at. People are going to say, oh, man, are you aware of this? Oh, I sell X amount of Z pricing. Or, hey, we had this many foreclosures in San Diego County this year. You have to remember, San Diego County includes like Borrego Springs, a lot of East County communities that maybe are going to have a different price point list of sold than other communities. So really dive deeper into the question. So if you're looking at a particular area, make sure you're getting that information in that particular area, because there's no point of getting broad or skewed facts if it's not going to help you get to where you want to get to. Any last words you want to throw out there?
You know, I think that there's a lot of opportunity that's going to come up within the next 2 months, because as the market adjusts to the new normals, I think there's going to be more opportunity for you to negotiate and do different things, because now you have two things coming together, which you have higher prices and you have the higher cost of borrowing. And those two things combined with limited amount of things for sale, I think you're going to have a lot of unique opportunities, and there's going to be a lot of good areas where if you're working with the right person, you'll be able to get something better than you could before, because a lot of people are going to fall out of the market completely now. Like they're going to stop looking. So your odds actually, I think, went up. So I think that's some good news.
Yeah, you got to remember this, okay? The average realtor is selling about 3 deals a year, right?
Ooh,
so
man,
if they're
tough.
not up to date, right, with what's going on in the market, they might have an inflated ego. And as the market might cool down, I'm not saying it has.
They might have an inflated ego.
They might keep it, and they might think that they should be getting 40 offers on their property when they only might get a couple offers. So there might be the ability to have time as your friend. I'm not saying right now, I mean, maybe on the property to property, but just be aware as those situations do arise. Don't go full bore into the property. Allow your realtor to talk to the other side and see kind of what's going on there. Thank you, guys. Please subscribe, please share, and tell your friends. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.